Coming up on DC News Now, Commonwealth controversy. The Democrat nominee for Virginia Attorney General facing calls to drop out by Republicans. The text messages discussing violence that he's now apologizing for.
We're still required to show up and go to work as if it's business as usual, and we're still not getting paid.
Weekend one of a partial government shutdown. Federal workers speaking out to their member of Congress with their concerns when the next vote to reopen the government may be called. Sanchez stabbed, arrested. The former Washington quarterback now in hot water while hospitalized. The latest from police.
And what a beautiful start to the weekend. It's going to be a continuation of this nice weather for Sunday. We'll talk specifics coming up.
And from savings for holiday shopping right now to the timely deals to book your next trip out of town. We're stretching your dollar.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good Saturday evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Ben Dennis. We begin tonight with breaking news out of Prince George's County. Greenbelt. We're told it happened on Spring Hill Court around 4:45 this afternoon. Police are asking everybody to avoid the area as they continue their investigation. Well, former Washington quarterback Mark Sanchez has been stabbed and also arrested for his alleged role in that stabbing. It's happened overnight in Indianapolis, where he remains hospitalized. Local police and Fox Sports say the Fox Sports analyst is in stable condition. Indianapolis police shared a statement. They say that there was a physical disturbance around 12:30 this morning and involving two men. They say they reviewed video of that incident and arrested Sanchez for battery with injury, unlawful entry of a motor vehicle, and public intoxication. They're all misdemeanors. It's still unconfirmed, though, exactly what happened. Well, pushback is growing stronger in Virginia after a new report indicated the Democrat nominee for Attorney General, Jay Jones, suggested violence against political opponents 3 years ago. The former state delegate also allegedly suggested people face personal pain, like the death of their own children, in order to change their opinions on policy. The story was first reported Friday by the National Review, which shared apparent screenshots of texts Jay Jones sent to a GOP House delegate, Kerry Coyner, back in 2022. And in those texts, Jones harshly criticized Republican colleagues and reportedly said that he would go to their funerals and urinate on their graves. The report says that Jones doubled down several times, describing a scenario where former Republican House Speaker Todd Gilbert would be shot with 2 bullets to the head. Jones then allegedly called Delegate Coyner to explain his reasoning and said the only way officials change their tune on public policy is when they feel personal pain, like watching their children die. Jones sat down with our sister station WRIC in Richmond. He apologized.
Again, I am so deeply, deeply sorry and wish that I hadn't done it. But again, I want to make sure that everybody knows that I'm so apologetic. And that's why I reached out to the speaker. And I want the people of Virginia to know that I am sorry and that is not acceptable, and that they should have a leader in me who's someone who understands when I've made a mistake. And I'm not perfect, and I don't claim to be, and I've erred, but I learn from those things. And that's, I think, an important part of this, is that I take it and we grow from it, we learn from it, and we move forward. And I think that's something that we'll do as we head towards this election on November 4th.
Democrats and Republicans are criticizing Jones' messages and that apparent phone call. He's largely facing calls from Republicans, though, to drop out of the race for Attorney General. Tonight, his opponent and current AG, Jason Miyares, says that Jones' comments are disqualifying. Governor Glenn Youngkin has chimed in, too. He said, in part, quote, "This violent, disgusting rhetoric targeted at an elected official and his children is beyond disqualifying." Going on to say that Jones' Democrat running mates, quote, "don't have the courage to call on him to step away from this campaign in disgrace." And at the top of the ticket, Democrat nominee for governor and former Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger sharing a statement Friday saying, in part, "After learning of these comments earlier today, I spoke frankly with Jay about my disgust with what he had said and texted. I made clear to Jay that he must fully take responsibility for his words." And during Jones' sit-down with WRIC, our sister station, he said that he intends to continue running to be Attorney General, saying that the race has never been about him specifically. This afternoon, Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, called on Jones to drop out of the race. Well, there appears to be no end in sight between Republicans and Democrats on Capitol Hill. As we enter the first weekend of the partial government shutdown, voters are now letting leaders in Congress know their strong feelings over the stalemate, including to Virginia Congressman Suhas Subramanyam. DC News Now's Dave Lavelle tells us what they had to say.
Congressman Subramanyam has hosted 10 town hall meetings since he first took office. But Saturday's event here at Sterling Middle School is the first since the start of the partial shutdown of the federal government.
It's very difficult.
Sharon works at the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. The partial shutdown created by Congress has left her and fellow federal workers extremely stressed and worried about their futures.
We're still required to show up and go to work as if it's business as usual, and we're still not getting paid.
The government is shut down right now. This is day 4.
The congressman says he sees no end in sight.
When there's this uncertainty in our federal government, it hurts our economy.
Others in the school's auditorium were also concerned how the shutdown will impact other parts of the economy.
What should we expect from this shutdown in the education world?
Who are often overlooked in shutdown discussions.
But I do fully support the Democrats being a bulwark in this shutdown.
The public had about 45 minutes to deliver their messages to the lawmaker.
There's definitely a lot of uncertainty.
Julian Cosgrove is with Melwood Enterprises, a regional contractor for people with disabilities, helping them find jobs in areas like custodial work and groundskeeping.
It's a challenge to know what comes next when you can't get the kind of answers that you need from your leaders.
The congressman has declined to be paid during the shutdown. He's introduced a bill that would prevent lawmakers from being paid in similar situations in the future.
But the members need to feel the pain. They need to feel the discomfort of not getting a paycheck or 2 or 5.
Congressman said he'll return to work at his Capitol Hill office on Monday. In Sterling, Virginia, Dave Lavelle, DC News Now.
Our thanks to Dave. Right over at meteorologist Scott Sumner standing by. Scott, this week gave us an initial taste of that fall temperature out there. It was pretty great.
And it's coming back here in the 7-day forecast. We're not going to relinquish that feel just yet here. Well, in the short term we will, but in the long term we won't. As far as the almanac, the high was 78. The average should be 74 degrees. The morning low is 55. The average 57. Pretty close to the high and low there. Record 94 and 34. Set back in 1954 for the high and 1974 for the low. We're going to be a little warmer than that tomorrow here across the DMV and specifically in DC. Right now, though, we're sitting at 67 degrees. We have clear skies out there. It is going to be clear and comfortable. Look at the numbers dipping down here as we go throughout the overnight, dropping down to around 60, upper 50s to around 60 degrees around the Beltway. And then we turn the corner and get up to about 80 degrees for tomorrow. I actually technically have 81, but around 80 degrees should just about cover it for tomorrow. So here are the weather headlines. We've got a clear and comfortable night ahead. Sunday, still sunny and just a tad warmer. Early week warmth, and then a strong front arrives midweek, and it does bring some changes about, especially regarding the temperatures. We'll talk all about that and show it to you with a full 7-day, as I always do. Ben?
Let's cover, Scott. Thanks. All new tonight, we have learned that a man was shot and killed in Northwest D.C. overnight, and not far from Meridian Hill Park. Police say it happened on Clifton Street around 12:30 this morning near 14th Street. Officers say they arrived and found the man unconscious and not breathing. No word on his ID or any suspect description. Meantime, D.C. police say that a man showed up to a hospital in Southeast last night with gunshot wounds. Police say that he was shot on 6th Street around 10 p.m. His condition is still unclear. No word of any suspects. Well, the government shutdown continues into its 4th day. Senators failed to pass 2 competing funding bills Friday. A Democrat bill would fund the government if Obamacare subsidies are extended, while Republicans offered a bill to match the one House Republicans passed last month. The shutdown has many people in the region frustrated. Our Yamarisa Say reports further on the fallout.
The government shutdown as a whole is just kind of, it's a silly thing that's going on. It's not really necessary.
It's been 3 days since the government shutdown began, and now the country has to wait until Monday to see what happens next.
I'm disappointed that it's happening. It obviously affects us a lot here in D.C. in every aspect of our lives. But I'm with the Democrats, and I'm hoping that they can get some sort of concessions out of the Republicans to make it worth it.
Republicans and Democrats remain divided, disagreeing over issues like health care tax credits and Medicaid funding.
To be able to strip health care away from millions of Americans, to be able to cause the cost of it to go up for so many more. It's really just, if we don't come together in a bipartisan fashion, which we must, to address this, we're going to pay for this for many, many years to come.
What we passed in the House 2 weeks ago is a simple continuing resolution. It's exactly the status quo. We're just asking them to extend it for 7 more weeks so the Republicans and Democrats can work together to figure out the new appropriations bills.
Lorenzo Massaro says threats of mass layoffs from President Donald Trump during this time are uncalled for.
Well, it's one thing to impact people's pockets, but it's another thing to also threaten mass layoffs permanently, which again is unprecedented within a government shutdown. So I think it just adds to the overall absurdity of it.
And Lydia says she's worried about the people affected the most.
As much as I'm glad that the Democrats are doing something and standing up, I feel like it obviously does still impact us, and it does put a lot of people out of work.
Do you hope that the government shutdown comes to an end soon?
I do.
I really do hope it does, but I think it's going to be a little long. I have a feeling it's going to be a long one.
Time will tell how those negotiations unfold, but the Smithsonian says they're going to stay open a little longer during the shutdown. Museums, research centers, and the National Zoo have extended hours through next Saturday. The institution says they're using funding from previous years to stay open during the shutdown. We will, of course, continue to bring the latest developments on the government shutdown and how it impacts you on air and online at dcnewsnow.com. A March Madness movement lives on at the University of Maryland. We're going to lay out this story. The marketing student behind the Crab 5 t-shirt says there's now a new partnership and to support the athletes. The Crab 5 is a nickname for the basketball team's starting lineup and a play on Michigan's iconic Fab 5. DC News Now's Tim Reed has details on that deal.
Millen Chowdhury is doing something here at the University of Maryland that not too many other students have ever done. The senior just signed a deal with athletics to sell his merchandise and to help support their NIL efforts.
We're trying to create something bigger with the athletes, so I love the fact that I have this because it allows me to platform so many opportunities now in a bigger way with the people that we have here and our great athletes.
This University of Maryland senior marketing major is only 21 years old, but is a very motivated entrepreneur.
I'm just a normal Maryland student during the week most of the time, so I go to class like everybody else and I go to the games like everybody else, but now I feel like I'm a part of the team.
Millen Chowdhury is now fully licensed and signed a deal with the University of Maryland Athletics. He can now put the Maryland logo on his t-shirts for his company, Brown Boy Nation. His business took off last year after selling his Crab 5 t-shirts during the men's basketball run in the March Madness tournament.
First and foremost, we're just, so grateful for his opportunity to work with our student athletes. Him being a student of the university himself, that's just a great opportunity.
A t-shirt was also designed for the women's basketball team. Chowdhury has already signed several athletes at Maryland and also signed Commanders running back Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. The UMD student says the sky is the limit now thanks to his partnership with the university.
I'm very excited now to do the NIL efforts with the school because it gives me credibility.
Chowdhury says he believes he's one of the youngest entrepreneurs in America to be doing what he's doing as a college student. In College Park, Maryland, Tim Reed, DC News Now.
Best of luck to him. Tim, thanks. Coming up, we are helping you stretch your dollar. Why you don't have to wait until the holidays to get a good deal. The bargains you can take advantage of this week. Time is 9:14. A live look at Roslyn. Hey, Arlington, we got you covered. And everybody else across the DMV. Scott Sumner is looking out for you in your forecast. More after the break.